Hi, I'm Jane from Skein Sisters, and today I'm going to show you how to do an I-cord border or edging on a sleeve. I finished my ranunculus, almost. This is the last thing, the last sleeve. So I'm going to show you how to do that because it makes a really neat edge or border on a sleeve or a neckline or the bottom of a garment. So yeah. So Deb's going to come around behind me while I do that. So what you do is on your light, you leave your stitches live, and then you have to cast on. For me, I have to cast on, how many do I have to do? 4 extra stitches. So it's the knitted cast on. So that's 1.
And knitted cast on means what, Jane? Can you show us?
2. Yep, so the knitted cast on, you're putting your needle into the stitch, you are knitting it, bringing it round, but then you don't take the stitch off the needle, you put that new loop onto your left needle, then you knit that one.
It's quite a quick cast on way, isn't it?
Yep. So how many have I done? 4. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? No, 5, sorry, I have to do one more.
Because it's a nice wide.
It's a nice wide I-cord edge. Sometimes it'll only be 3 stitches or 4 stitches, but this is a nice wide one. So there's my 5 stitches. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to do this, the first row, it doesn't look like anything much, so I'll do a couple of rows. But you're going to knit 4 stitches. And then you knit the next 2 stitches. Oh, I've put a yarn over on there, I'm just going to drop that off, sorry. You knit the next 2 stitches, which is 1 cast on stitch and 1 stitch from your sleeve through the back loop. So you're putting your needle in the back loops and you knit those. So you end up like that. And then what I do is I slide the next stitch onto my double pointed needle.
Yeah, because you're using
Like
a
that.
double pointed needle.
So I'm using double pointed needles, so you can just slide them back to the start of the needle. So now we're going to keep going. Now see how my yarn's coming from the last stitch I knit, but I'm going to start in the first stitch. And what happens when you do that is the stitches start to curl and they make a really neat curled edge. So the pattern is for this is all the same. So we're going to knit 4. Yeah, 4. Oh yeah, here's my other one. And then we're going to knit those 2 together through the back loop. So again, it's 1 stitch from the DPN and it's 1 stitch from here. So I'm taking the next one and I go back.
I have never seen it done like that with the double pointed, Jane. You are brilliant.
I'm pretty sure I didn't invent it. I'm pretty sure I read about it somewhere or saw someone doing it in a video.
I know,
but I think this makes it a whole lot easier.
It really does.
Because otherwise, if you are knitting with your the needles holding the stitches, you have to keep slipping them back and forth between the needles, and that's a bit of a pain.
After you've done your knit through the back loop, you then have to slip them back onto your left-hand needle.
Yeah. So this way, if you're using DPNs, you can just slide them down to the other end. So it's super easy. So I'll just do one more and hopefully we'll have started to curl nicely. Sorry everyone, you have to watch my slow knitting.
See, that's the thing about knitting. You think you know it all, right?
And
then you find just some amazing trick which just changes it all.
So you can see now that's already starting to sort of curl nicely.
Yeah, so on the back it's the same.
On the back it's still a bit messy, but I'll show you one I finished earlier. So you just keep doing that all the way around until you've used up all the stitches, okay? So you'll come back around here and you'll have used all the stitches from your sleeve. So here's the one I finished earlier. So that's what it looks like. So it's this lovely edge where the stitches are going in a different direction, which I think always looks cool. And that's the inside. And then this here is where I joined it. So what I did to do this is I left the stitches that I just finished knitting, I didn't cast off, I left those live, cut the yarn, and then I basically sort of semi-grafted and sewed them together. So I went into the live stitch, underneath there, then back down in the same live stitch, then in the next one.
It's
So it's a bit like grafting, but
It's really tricky to get that quite
Yeah.
neat.
the other thing you can do is you can do a provisional cast on when you start. So rather than doing that knitted cast on, if you do a provisional cast on at the start and then undo it at the end, then you can proper graft it, and it would be even more seamless than that. But I'm actually fairly happy with that. I didn't think about the provisional cast on before I started, but
I'm not going to show you mine.
That's how the pattern. That's how the pattern asks you to do it. So that's an I-cord, sometimes called an applied I-cord or an I-cord bind off. But you can do that on necklines or bottom of your jumper or up the front. It can be done on shawls or blankets. It's just a really nice edging that's not ribbing or garter stitch.